Yep, we're going.
Alright, so we're going to start here on the front of the house. A little bit of loose siding, a little bit of wood rot in some of the corners of the fascia. You can see where that one's been replaced at some point. On the other side is a little bit of wood rot. The base of the column is pretty good. It needs paint, but not rotted out. Underneath the main entry overhang, everything looks generally good. You have an outlet right there. Your outside outlets are not GFI protected. The garage lights on the other side, these sconces, these are actually on daylight sensors. I removed it to make sure it works. It does work.
Okay.
When they're back on, they'll be on daylight sensor. The garage is generally good. Electrical in here is fine. It's not all GFI. One little bit of settlement cracking right here. You can see there's been a couple repairs, but no big deal. The garage door is a new impact rated garage door, so for wind and impact it's good. The garage side door is the original door, and it no longer latches properly. Just where the handle connects, it just doesn't quite catch. It just needs to be adjusted. Going on to the right side, there's a light fixture under the soffit that's loose. Probably just needs to be replaced with a new mount.
I know there's multiple spots. This stucco right here on the front of the house, we talked about that. Right here.
Show a better example on the back here.
He's got a better example in the back, but it's the same thing.
So again, some of this has been replaced, some of it hasn't. A little bit of a step crack around the door.
Where is that at? Oh, I see it. Yeah, there we go.
Lights and everything work back here. AC 2018 model, inside and outside, so it's a match set, Comfort Maker brand. Right there, you've got the main sewer clean out. And like Lee mentioned, because it's PVC, that tells us there was some sort of work done at some point. Down here along the sides, you've got some vegetation up against the house. This lets ants and rodents and stuff get in the house. You've got some wood rot here in the corner. And when I poked it, ants came out of it. So get this stuff trimmed off, get the wood rot fixed. Down here along the right, another step crack. You can see this is classic. This is how it always goes. It follows the block lines. Just a yearly maintenance thing. You want to go around and patch and paint. It's not going to harm the house. Here's the stucco. So it looks like probably a sprinkler head at some point is sprayed on it continuously. Maybe one broke or something. That just needs to be scraped off and restuccoed. Back of the house, generally good. Pool equipment, I did go over all this. Filter housing looks good. Chlorinator is good. Pool pump timer is good. There is power to this disconnect if you decide to add on some sort of the pool equipment. Pool pump, generally good. The motor is newer. The only defect with all this is the motor is not bonded. There's supposed to be a ground wire. It's called a bond between the motor, the cage, and all the electronics. So that needs to be added back in. Cage, generally good. The bracing cables are tight, but you do have several corroded fasteners both along the top and along the bottom. Those all should probably be redone by a contractor just to make sure everything's back and secure. The wind can't blow your cage apart. The full deck, this has been redone. So these pavers are set over the original concrete deck, so these are never going to move or go anywhere. That's great. The pool itself, you can see there's some staining and pitting in it. The pool coating is probably towards the end of its lifespan. Not that it can't be maintained with proper water quality, but eventually it's going to have to be redone. The patio itself, generally good. You do have a couple of supports. This one's missing a bolt. This one's missing, or this one's no longer secured to anything. This is supposed to be secured to the house and to the cage to help support everything. It's not a major support like one of these, but it's still important, and when you lost more than one, that becomes an issue. We have an outlet here. This looks like it was an add-on from the original outlet that is most likely behind the shutters. So that can all be removed if that's removed, or you can have an electrician properly wire it. Over here on the right side of the house, again, generally good. Got another step crack here. Step crack is non-usable. More vegetation. Now, granted, none of this vegetation is touching the soffit, but you still want to keep it off the house. It's never great to have it against the house. And then down here in this corner again, face up. more wood rot. I didn't actually hook my finger through that. I'm not going to. Right underneath this piece of soffit, this just needs an electrical box cover. That's all, just a plastic cover. It does work, so it's on one of the switches inside. The roof generally looks to be in pretty good shape. It does show its age a little bit. There is a couple of repairs. There's been a repair in this valley over here. So you may not be able to see it on the phone, but there's brown shingles in the valley. Those have all been replaced. And on the back around one of the skylights, those have all been replaced. And then where you've got some trees and stuff hanging over the house, you can see where it's worn on the shingles. Generally it's pretty good. The flat roof over the pool deck looks to be a little bit newer than the main roof, but it all looks watertight.
We're talking about the flat roof versus the shingle itself.
Yeah.
As far as the age.
Yeah, so I would say the flat roof is 5 years newer than the main roof, and it's going to have a solid 8 to 10 years on it, along with the main roof.
Okay.
The attic space, maybe you'll hard to see from the phone, but this house has been replumbed with a poly plumbing. So you've got all new plumbing in the attic. And then as far as the attic space goes, you've got vaulted ceilings in here with the decorative beams, so you can't crawl all the way across both ceilings, not to mention all the skylights. You've got 8 skylights in the house. Those are all intrusions through the space. But generally good. Laundry room, no major issues. The equipment works fine. Kitchen, no major issues. Everything here looks to be working fine. You'll see thermals in the report. Oven working, stove working, hot water working, dishwasher ran through a cycle. Not all the outlets in here are GFI protected. They weren't required to be, the edge of the home. So these over here are not GFI. It's not a defect, but for safety you can always put them in just to feel a little safer. You have some under cabinet lights here. They are just a stick-on kind of thing, plugged in here. They don't seem to be working. May just need new bulbs. And there is a little hidden switch right here.
Yeah, I saw that. I found that one.
Yeah. Down here in the bedroom, the guest bedroom side. This bedroom's generally good. Windows working fine. Lights and fans are all working. We do have this baseboard down here. It's got a gap in it. Looks like it's just a fitment issue. It's just a little too tight in there, so it's pushed itself out. You can actually just recalk it. You'll never see it again. Floors look generally good. Again, bedroom 3. No major issues. Ceilings, floors, they all look good. Outlets are working fine. Electrical throughout the house, no major issues. Turn down and work. Main living area, these floors, ceilings, everything looks generally good. Skylights all look good. I did thermal, all the ceilings and the skylights. No thermal issues noted, so we know they've had leaks in the past because of the roof repairs, but there's no current leaks that I can see. The fireplace looks generally good. It is a wood burning fireplace. There is a crack in the brick, the fire brick, that you probably want to have someone get repaired. You don't want any sparks going through the brick. Right in the center.
Oh, I see it now.
The dampener is working just fine. And the chimney looks clean and clear. No past or anything on both any nest in there. Master bathroom. This was all obviously remodeled. No issues in here. Everything's working fine. Again, another skylight in there. That skylight is actually one skylight with just a low wall built in the middle to make it look like 2. The master bedroom floor, ceilings, and walls generally good. These beams, you put a flashlight on, you can see they have a gray wash on them. I think it looks nice. You know, personal choice, but they have definitely been colored. So all the doors and windows and sliders in the house work generally good, except for bathroom 2's door. We can go back over there if you want. Well, it's the same as the garage door. It doesn't properly latch every time you close it. It just needs to be adjusted.
We're talking about the strike plate on the door.
Yep.
And Marv, you're correct. The wood was definitely gray washed, but it actually, we were looking at the master bedroom and we're looking at it in here. It would really look good if, yeah, there you go.
You see, this is very red and brown. And if you come in here, this definitely has a gray tint to it.
Yeah. So what we were saying is it might look really good if you do the whole house with this gray, instead of trying to get this back to this more of a redwood look.
And these are our faux beams to begin with, so.
What are they?
Yeah, they're faux beams. They're not structural. They're just for looks.
Right, right. There you have it, Marv. Are we done?
Yep, that's it.